Hello everyone, this is me, Dee Dee, again from Haunted Curiosities. And I have with me Nymphadora. And you guys know by now, also Heather. So, the last time I saw you, I forget all that we were talking about. So I'm just gonna go with, if you could tell me about some of the services, transmissions, and transformations that you're able to do. I know that you were telling me about a very interesting case of a guy that was pre-earth. If you want to start with that, because that I found that like fascinating. It really was.
This was definitely one of my hardest ones to deal with. He was a great guy, but he turns out that he was immortal pre-earth. And he was on like a completely different planet, different galaxy. I mean, it was really far away.
Was he alien looking or did he look human?
No, it was fascinating because he did look like us. There was absolutely no difference in the way he looked. Big head, tall, skinny. I mean, he looked exactly like he looks today. And what happened was his whole planet was just completely a mess. I mean, nothing that I've ever seen before, and there was a cosmic destruction where the entire planet just completely destroyed. And so the thing is, when you're immortal, you can still die during something like that. I mean, you're not safe from a cosmic destruction, but the soul itself is still alive. So he was reincarnated multiple times, and while he was reincarnated, he kept feeling like, I want to be immortal, but he had no idea why. And so he just kept going through these different lives, wanting to be immortal and having no way of knowing how to do that. And so when he came to me and he said about being immortal, I immediately knew what he was talking about. But because there was something interfering, I had to physically go back with him through his memories. One, to make sure that they were actual memories and not daydreams or, you know, just regular dreams that he had or wishes that he had. They were actual things that happened in his life.
How do you do that? Like, how do you know if it's real? Are you touching him? Do you go into it? Are you able to see and feel it?
I can feel it. I can see it and feel it. I'm seeing it as he's seeing it. It's kind of like when you're watching a movie of things from your past, like say your mother recorded birthday parties, Christmases, things like that, and you're watching it. That's kind of how I see it. It's like a movie reel.
But how do you know if what you're seeing is actually real?
I can feel it inside on what's real and what's just make-believe. And normally if it's like a daydream or something, it looks different.
Oh, okay.
It definitely looks different. So when we went back, I could see that there was this big explosion and, you know, the cosmic destruction that happened to his planet, and that kind of kept him, because of him dying while being an immortal, that kept him from being able to achieve that. So we had to do quite a transformation on him to get past all of that and work it in that he can be immortal again. And it did work. It took hours of time to do it, and it was quite grueling for the two of us, but it was a success, and he is immortal again today, and he's very happy with it. We're just hoping that what happened with his planet doesn't happen here, but unfortunately, it looks like some of the steps that took place to get his planet where it was is currently happening now.
Let me ask you, how many, have you seen other people that has happened to?
I have seen lots of pre-earth people. I'd probably say
how many?
Over 50. I mean, if not more. It's quite fascinating because they all look like they do now. There is no alien type. I mean, people have their idea of what an alien would look like, and it's not like that at all. They look just like you and me.
So, when you say cosmic crash, well, first, let me ask you, on these other planets and other solar systems, galaxies, is that right?
Yes.
Are any of the planets that were pre-Earth in this solar system?
No, not in this solar system. They're further away.
So you're not saying that like Mars and Pluto? No. So these are totally
different, yes.
As
like light years away.
Okay, so as what we have discovered so far, we have not even discovered these places.
No.
What about the planet that they say is just like Earth?
Yeah.
So there are...
Oh, yes, definitely.
There are people there.
Yes.
Do they look like us?
They do, yeah.
And do you have any idea of when we will meet them, discover them?
No, I would love to know that, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I think it would be really neat to interact with another world, but unfortunately I don't know that yet.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but considering I know that you are an excellent astral traveler.
Yes.
Are you able to travel there?
Oh, yeah.
And you just haven't done it yet?
I don't, no. I think I kind of want to... It's just like a mystery. I don't know. I kind of want to hold off on it.
But you are going to do it, right?
Oh, I will eventually, yes. It's kind of like sitting on pins and needles. Like, I want to do it, but I got to kind of hold myself back. I mean, I've traveled to many different places. I mean, I've been to Mars. I've been to Mercury and things like that. But
just to take a look.
Just to take a look.
Because it doesn't hurt your body because you're just astral.
Exactly. And it's fascinating for me to see and then to kind of hear what the scientists and stuff are saying. You know, NASA is what they call it, and it's fascinating to see it myself and then kind of see what they're seeing and put the two together.
Well, I have a question for you since you've been on Mars.
Yes.
My ex was invited by the government of Egypt to go and look into some of the pyramids and stuff. Now, at the time, I was pregnant, so I did not go because it was a heat thing. Actually, it wasn't a heat thing. It was how pregnant I was. You couldn't travel by plane at that time. That's what it was. There was restriction on that. So he got to go, and he met... he spoke with... I'm trying to think of the guy's name. He did these books. Richard Hoagland was his name.
Okay.
I know my ex did not like him. He said he was a pompous asshole. That's what he said. Those are exact words. But he did meet... I know the government official's name. And he's very well known. And if I said his name, people would know who he was. But what they were discussing was the pyramids and the face on Mars and the Sphinx on Mars. Now, that is something you know about, right?
Right, yes.
So, I want to know, considering we have that here on Earth, and it's also on Mars as well, is there a reason for that?
Oh, of course.
And now he was telling me it's all mathematical, and it has to do with the power that we can gain through our mind. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Most people don't understand how much they can really do with their mind. They say you only use 10% of your mind. I think you use a lot more than that. I think that's just a number they throw out.
Yeah, it is.
But there is a lot more of your mind that you can use, and I think that's one of the things.
And so, considering that there are planets, and planets, I didn't mean to say planets, I meant to say pyramids and a Sphinx on Mars. I know that's something we're going to have to get into at another time because that's quite long.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so there's been tons of people that have been pre-Earth.
Pre-Earth, yeah.
That have come to you, and they do need a special...
That takes a special, when I do my transformations, normally they're all about like the same kind of thing that I do. It's pretty much routine, but with these pre-Earth people, I have to first diagnose that they are pre-Earth.
Yeah.
And then after that, I have to dig in a lot deeper with them because they're so... I guess their soul is so old that it takes a lot longer to dig into their background and, the things that they've experienced. So it's a completely different transformation. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to stop this video and we will continue again.